Albert Belz play Astroman. Excellent. Come on up. Albert, ladies and gentlemen, we have Albert Belz with us here today. Make him welcome. Oh, have a seat. Here we are we're going to call this the Playwright's Couch. This brand New Zealand work, Astroman. Albert, could you tell us a little bit about the story and actually, what was the inspiration to write this play?
I really wanted to write something that was a homage to everything 80s, everything that I grew up with, that I loved as a young fella. And that's what this is. If there was, I've written quite a few plays in my time, but if there were any close to biographical, this is far from close, but you know what I'm saying. The world that I grew up in, this is the one. Certainly said a lot about the world that I grew up in. And yeah, that's very much where it came from. The past.
This was I think that we had this in the Fresh Ink reading last year. It went incredibly well, and it's a genre which I think that whole 80s genre is something which has been well served by film and television.
Absolutely.
Things like Stranger Things, even going back to sort of E.T., that vibe. But we haven't had something like that for the stage. So in Astroman, our young protagonist here, an airborne Tola Newbery, Jimmy, grows up in a small town New Zealand, and really his number one hangout is the local Space Invaders parlour.
Yeah, it's set in Whakatāne where I grew up, east coast of the Bay of Plenty, and he's obsessed with video games, of the time Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and all those sort of things, and jamming 20-cent coins to get 5 minutes of entertainment out of a box, and yeah, that's very much what's said of it.
Brilliant. So can you tell us a bit about Jimmy? Because there's an aspect to his character which becomes revealed through the play.
Absolutely. So Jimmy's this young kind of genius, I suppose you could say. Well, yeah, he's a genius, but he's so busy getting himself into trouble and all that sort of thing. It's a struggle between, it's this coming of age sort of thing as he grows into a young fella with the help of Mr Macrae, who's this mad old Scotsman who's full of heart but full of hurt going on there as well.
Awesome. Now I know this play has is really interesting because it's been done this year not only at the Core Theatre but also at the Melbourne Theatre Company. Do you want to talk a little bit about the origin of the play and how come it's happening in Australia and here?
Yeah, so what happened there was I actually started writing it, started storylining it, in New Zealand. And then myself and my partner moved to Australia, and I figured if I was going to get a play in Australia, I should probably write something that Australians can relate to. But quite honestly, I didn't want to write a white Australia play. There were plenty of those out there, and if I wanted to differentiate myself from what was already on the market, I was going to write something that was going to be about Indigenous Australia, and I was able to, I suppose for lack of a better term, pluck elements of Astroman and then pluck more elements, and next thing I know, what was essentially a story about a young Māori boy became a story about a young Indigenous Australian boy. And nonetheless, Court Theatre gets to put it on 2 hours before it happens in Australia.
2 hours?
2 hours.
Is that right?
It opens on the same night.
Albert, thank you so much. So there we have it, Astroman, directed by Nancy Brunning. So it's sort of Good Will Hunting with this feel-good 80s vibe.